Welcome back to another episode of Disturbing Reasons to Be Afraid of the Dark. We're going to be talking about the Bell Witch again today, part 2, and we're going to start the Bell Witch Cave. I love that story as well. I'm sure everyone else does too. It's very intriguing. It's lovely. But yeah. But I wanted to talk about something before we get started. I have been advertising a lot, and I got into a disagreement with one of the admins in one of the groups, but I blocked that group. It wasn't my proudest moment how mad I got, but at the same time, she was very rude to me, and that kind of triggered me because I go out my way to be nice to people, like, a lot of times, and it's like to me it's a weakness, because even though I know someone might not be that nice to me, I'm still nice to them, and I try my best to not get under people's skin and to make people upset and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, that happened. It wasn't my proudest moment, so if you saw it, I am sorry about that. She triggered me hard. Like, really hard. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Go check out my other channels, and I will be starting a new Reddit No Sleep soon. I'm working on it right now. To start it and finish it and all that other good stuff. So please stay tuned for that. I read pieces of it, and it's a really good story. So let's go ahead and get started. This is, if you didn't watch my other video, go ahead and go check it out, so that way you know what's going on, because you're going to be lost. Well, kind of, because I'm going to start a new one too, so you should be fine. Anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're at the part where it's John Bell dies, and they're telling the story how he died. The death of John Bell. The torment of the Bell house continued for years, ending in the ghost's ultimate act of vengeance upon the man she claimed had cheated her. She took responsibility for his death. In October 1820, Bell was struck with an illness while walking to the pigsty of his farm. Some believe that he suffered a stroke. Since thereafter, he had trouble speaking and swallowing. In and out of bed for several weeks, his health declined. The Tennessee State University in Nashville tells this part of the story. On the morning of December 19th, he failed to wake at his regular time. When the family noticed he was sleeping unnaturally, they attempted to arouse him. They discovered Bell was in a stupor and couldn't be completely awakened. John Jr. went to the medicine cupboard to get his father's medicine, and noticed it was gone, with a strange vial in its place. No one claimed to have replaced it with the vial. A doctor was summoned to the house. The witch began taunting that she had placed the vial in the medicine cabinet and given Bell a hefty dose of it while he was asleep. Contents of the vial were tested on a cat and discovered to be highly poisonous. John Bell died on December 20th. Kate was quiet until after the funeral. After the grave was filled, the witch began singing loudly and joyously. This continued until friends and family left the gravesite. The Bell Witch left the Bell household in 1821, saying that she would be back in 7 years' time. She made good on her promise and appeared at the home of John Bell Jr., where it is said she left him with prophecies of future events, including the Civil War, World War I and II. The ghost said it would reappear in 107 years, in 1935, but if she did, no one in Adams came forward as a witness to it. I hate that they used the cat to test the poison. That really bothers me. Like, when I was writing it and writing it down, I was like, they used it on a kitty? Like, it hurt my heart. But I understand the fact that they didn't have what they have now. Like, they couldn't test it like scientists do now. I don't know how exactly they do that. I'm not a scientist. But I'm sure that was their only means to figure out what it was. So I was like, okay, I guess that's okay. But it still hurt my heart. I was like, that poor kitty. You know? But anyway, it's not funny. But it just, yeah. It struck me weird that they use it on a cat. But yeah. But if you like this, go ahead and like, subscribe, And let me go ahead and get started to the Bell Witch Cave. And remember, I do take requests. I don't mind. And if you comment me, I will answer. And like I got 1 billion subscribers on that. And I'll message you back. I will. I mean, I'm pretty good for it. Okay. The Bell Witch Cave. This article was written by Troy Taylor. Give credit where credit's due because this is a great article. I mean, it took me forever to write this. Like, some words I had to change because they were really big words, and I didn't want you to have to pause it just in case you didn't know what it meant and go look it up to figure out what it means and the adjectives and all that other stuff. So I kind of changed the words and I made it sound where you would understand and everyone else would have to stop this and go figure out what the words were because it aggravated me. I was like, wait, that's a really big word. Like, I kind of knew what it meant, but I was like, if I kind of didn't know, then I'm sure some of you wouldn't know, you know? But anyway, the Bell Witch Cave. Near the Red River on the Farmer Bell farm, it is a cave that has been called the Bell Witch Cave. Thanks to local legend and love, many people have come to believe that when the spirit of the witch departed from the torment of the Bell family, she went into the cave. Others, myself included, believe that the cave marks the entrance to a doorway through which Kate came into the world, departed, and perhaps even returns today. Who knows? But I can tell you that with the large number of bizarre incidents reported in and around the cave in modern times, notions of the witch returning may not be as odd as you might think. While the cave has become quite famous in recent years, there is little mention of it in contemporary accounts of the hauntings. I'm sorry, Jenny just moved the camera. She just hit my thing and it moved it. I'm so sorry. Okay, where was I? It is believed that the cave might have been used for the cool storage of food in those days. Thanks to the fact that it remains a constant 56 degrees, it was also mentioned in some accounts that Kate's voice was often heard nearby, and one day, Betsy Bell and several of her friends had a close encounter with the witch inside of the cave. The cave itself is located in the center of a large bluff that overlooks the river. The mouth of the cave opens widely, but the entrance to the cavern itself must be gained through a fairly long tunnel. The cave is not large compared to most of the commercial caves. However, its true length is unknown because of narrow passages that go beyond the 500 or so feet accessible to visitors. Although geologically, this is a dry cave that has been carved from limestone. In wet weather, a stream gushes from the mouth of the cavern and tumbles over a cliff into the river below. This makes the cave nearly impossible to navigate, and even if you're shouting, conversations become inaudible over the roar of the water. In the dry times, the cave has proven to be quite an attraction to curiosity seekers and ghost hunters. Once you pass through the entrance passage, the visitors enter a large room that opens into yet another tunnel and an overhead passageway. Sorry, I got cotton mouth like crazy. Yeah, like it's nasty. Okay, where was I? Another large room can be found at the rear of the explored portion of the cave. But from that point on, the tunnels become smaller, narrow, and much more dangerous. The Bell Witch Cave become an attraction thanks largely to a man named Bill Eden, who owned the property for a number of years. Eden was a wealthy of information about the cave and about the fact that strange occurrences were continuing to take place on the land that once belonged to John Bell. Although he was mainly a farmer, Eden did make some early improvements to the cave, by adding electrical lights, but that was about all. Despite being underdeveloped, through the cave managed to attract hundreds of visitors every year who wanted to be shown through it. Bill always obliged through, although she is messing with me. You see her? She is so cute. That's my baby. Yes. But she's so bad. I was taking a bath and she kept trying to come in the bath this morning. She got soaked. Soaked. She even got soap in her eyes. I had to stop what I was doing to rinse out her eyes. It was a mess. But anyway, let's finish this paragraph so that way I could let y'all get back to your work day. Okay. Okay, every year who wanted to be shown through it. Bill always obliged, although was always puzzled about how they found the place. There was no signs to point the way at the time, but somehow people tracked down directions to the site, and they always asked to hear the stories of the witch and the stories that Eden spun around his own weird experience at the place. Many of the strange experiences actually happened to Bill Eden himself, while others involved visitors to the cave. For instance, a woman came to the cave to visit and asked to go down and see the cave. She had brought a group of friends along, and all about 15 people followed Eden down the rather treacherous path to the cave's entrance. All at once, the woman in charge of the group abruptly sat down in the middle of the path. One of the people who was with her asked her why she was sitting there, and she answered that she wasn't. She claimed that a heavy weight, which felt like a ton of lead, was pressing her down to the ground, and she couldn't get up. Several members of the group managed to get the lady to her feet and half carried her back to the hill to her car. That is crazy. And there's many more stories about people doing that. I'm going to finish it tomorrow. And I was kind of contemplating, if I don't do it tomorrow, I was kind of contemplating of do the story that my paranormal experience that I was kind of iffy about telling y'all. But I think I will, because the longer I wait, the more I'm not going to want to tell you. So I'm probably just going to break it down and tell y'all. I might cry. I don't know. Because every time I do talk about it, I do cry. It's the reason I started believing in the paranormal. It's the reason why I started researching. It's the reason why I started investigating. Like, I always liked it. But when this happened to me, I was dumbfounded. If I don't know if that's the correct word, and I was not amazed. I was very hurt. It was a very rough time for me and my family. It was very hard time, and I was still kind of young, and I was just starting life with my husband and my son. But it hit me hard, and when it happened, it struck me, and I don't even know how to put it into words how I felt. But I'll try my best to put into words for y'all if I'm gonna do this video. I am not sure if I will, but since I'm telling y'all about it, I will try to muster up as much as I can to tell y'all and to get enough courage to let y'all know why I started believing in the paranormal. But that'll be tomorrow. If I do it, it'll be tomorrow. So. Anyway, thank y'all for watching Disturbing Reasons to Be Afraid of the Dark. Please go check out my other videos. Subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell so that way you know when I upload, because I upload every single day. And Judy just hit the camera again. Anyway, bye. Stay scared, my Nikki Lou.